It's a new year, it's a new you, but this time we're gonna do things differently. Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Tamara, and today I'm gonna teach you guys a bunch of new tips and tricks on how to achieve your New Year's resolutions. If you're like me, you're probably tired of having a whole bunch of resolutions only for you to forget about it midway through the year. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys some advice to help you stay on track. So tip number one, the first thing you want to do is make realistic specific goals. And what do I mean by this? So basically I had friends that say, oh, I want to wake up earlier. Okay, define that. What do you mean by I want to wake up earlier? To make that a little bit more specific, let's say you usually wake up at 9 o'clock every morning, but you do want to get up earlier. So one of your goals can be, instead of waking up at 9 o'clock, you could probably wake up at 7 o'clock. Now this is where the realistic part kicks in. Because if you can't even wake up at like 8 o'clock in the morning without having a hard time, being realistic, you're not gonna wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and just think you're gonna thrive. So what you can do with this is actually work your way down to 7 o'clock. For an example, like we said, okay, you typically wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning every morning. So how about for like a week or so, instead of waking up at 9 o'clock, try waking up at 8:30. And then once you get used to 8:30, you can bring it down to 8 o'clock. And once you get used to 8 o'clock, bring it to 7:30. Then you're used to 7:30, bring it down to 7 o'clock. And then there you go. You're waking up at 7 o'clock every morning. Another example of a realistic specific goal is, instead of saying, oh, I want to go to the gym every single day, because let's be real, you're not going to go to the gym every single day because life happens. You may get sick, work may happen, you got kids or something. Life just gets crazy sometimes, and being realistic, you're probably not going to go to the gym every single day. Also, there are going to be days where you honestly just don't even feel like it. Like, let's be real, it happens to the best of us. So I would say a better goal would be try going to the gym at least twice a week. It doesn't have to be on specific days. Like, you don't have to go to the gym every Monday or every Wednesday because, like we said, life happens. At least when you go to the gym twice a week, you can still hit that goal, you know? Now, tip number two. This tip is very, very helpful if you're someone like me who loves to stay organized. Plan ahead. Think about when you want to start your goal and what steps you need to take to complete your goal. For an example, if you're trying to control how much you spend each month, what you can do is plan meals, plan outings, plan different activities so you know how much you plan on spending around each week. Now, like I said earlier, life happens. So with that being said, even though you plan ahead, you always want to make sure you have a backup plan. For an example, if you plan on going to the gym, let's say in 3 days, but something happens and you still want to get that workout in, you could plan to work at home. That could be your backup plan, and that's fine. You still get a workout in. And when you plan, it doesn't necessarily have to be like months in advance. It could literally be like 2-3 days in advance. And in addition to planning, you want to track your progress as well, just to see how far you came, what you need to work on, and any alternatives you need to make. Okay, this is tip number 3. This is by far one of the most important tips. Tip number 3, think about the purpose of your goal. This is what people refer to as their why. And let me tell you guys right now, the deeper your why is, that is what's gonna really motivate you to keep going. For an example, let's say one of your goals is working out. Okay, why do you want to work out? Some people may say like, oh, well, I just want a specific body type or whatever. Okay, that's cool. But depending on who you are, depending on what your values are, that may be a little superficial. But when you have a deeper reasoning for that, that is what's really going to motivate you. So let's say someone's motivating factors is health problems, because they have health problems in their family and they do not want to go through that. I have plenty of experience with that as well. Something that deep is going to motivate you to keep going versus a superficial reason such as, oh, I just want a specific body type. And even if that is your motivating factor, that's fine, that's cool. But the deeper your why is, that's what's gonna help you keep going. Even something as simple as like eating better. Like some people may say like, oh, I need to eat better because that's just what I need to do. But like that's a superficial why. Versus someone who's saying like, oh, because this disease, like heart disease for an example, may run in my family, so therefore I need to eat better so I won't come across these problems later in life. Now, tip number 4. I would say this tip is one of my favorite tips of all time. Learn from others' experiences. We have so much access to social media, and just learning and hearing other people's experiences, they can give us good advice and they can even motivate us. For an example, going back on the 2 goals, eating healthier and then working out more, when I look at shows such as like My 600 Pound Life, I know a lot of people like mock these shows and stuff like that, but they are really motivational and inspirational. Just hearing these experiences of how these people got there and how they came out of their situations. I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, like when I see other people's experiences, it completely shifts my perspective on things. Because I always tell people like it's one thing, for an example, like it's one thing to like hear about obesity and all the problems that come with it, but when you see it for yourself, it's a completely different thing. And also when you look at these people, don't just look at what they have, look at how they got there as well. For an example, if your goal is like trying to build more confidence in yourself and you see someone on any social media such as like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and you notice like, oh my gosh, they have so much confidence, don't just look at that. Look at how they got there. That person probably had to do like affirmations in the mirror every morning and night. So with that being said, don't just look at the results. Look at the steps they took to get to that goal. Tip number 5. Please, please, please give yourself grace if you don't get it right. Because let's be real, you're not going to get it right the first time. And even then, like, you can backslide. That's normal. It happens to all of us. And then what I noticed too, a lot of people, as soon as they notice they start backsliding, they just quit. They don't even like try to get back up and try again. It is okay if you start over. Like, it is completely fine. Just because you didn't work out through like the whole month of January, that doesn't mean you can't pick it back up in February or even pick it back up in March. Like, you can always get up whenever you feel most comfortable and try again. What you have to understand that this is a process. Like I said, you're not gonna get it right on the first time. It's gonna take multiple tries. You will have your ups, you will have your downs. Life happens, and that's okay. Give yourself some grace. Now, tip number 6, acknowledge any obstacles and mistakes that's preventing you from reaching your goals. And that's just with anything in life. Like, you can't grow and learn as a person if you don't dig deeper to do some self-reflection. And this can be done in multiple ways. You can journal, you can do a tracker, whichever way you feel more comfortable with. But once again, we all make mistakes. Things happen in life. So once again, going back to tip number 5, give yourself some grace. Okay, so for tip number 7, I actually found out this tip like a few days ago, and it's supposed to apparently help with you being more productive. But basically, I discovered this thing called the 90-day challenge. So pretty much what you're gonna do is divide the year in 4 quarters, which is pretty much just 3 months each quarter. Now for each quarter, what you are going to do is write down any goals that you want to complete by the end of those 3 months. Of course, if things do not go as planned, because like we said throughout the whole video, life happens. If things don't go as planned, you can always carry those goals you didn't achieve in 1 quarter over to the next quarter. And apparently this is supposed to help you be more productive, because I'm gonna be honest, it is pretty overwhelming trying to get all these goals done in a year, because at the same time you're like, oh, I do have a whole year. I could just wait. And then like I said, midway through, you just forget about it. So dividing your year into chunks is supposed to help you be more productive. So for those who have no idea what they want to do for their New Year's resolutions, I have a bunch of ideas for you. So for people who are trying to lose weight, you could challenge yourself by losing 10 to 20 pounds in 3 months. And like I said, this does not have to start in January. You could start this goal in like March or April, even July if you wanted to. For people who are trying to budget better, try saving between 10 and 20% of your income this year. For people who are trying to read more, try to at least read 2 books this year. Or if you plan on doing the 90-day challenge, try reading 1 book each quarter. For people who are trying to limit screen time, you can literally set like 1 day out of the month where you do not use technology at all. Or what you can do, what I personally do, I have a time limit on my phone for about 2 hours. So once those 2 hours are up, I have to get off my phone and find something else to do. For my Christian babes, for those who are trying to build their relationship up with God, what you can do, what I challenge you to do actually, is either read the whole Old Testament or read the whole New Testament within the year. Or if you haven't already, you could try to join a church. And if you don't feel comfortable with doing that, because I had my reasons many years ago to not join a church in person, you can always watch my church virtually, and I'll actually leave the link down in the description. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
I'm in London, I like to go and shop at the mall. Shop at the Prada, shop at the store. Shop in the drop and stop at Dior.